Hi, I'm Tekoselchu, and this is another Men of War video. It is Russians versus, I believe, Germans, and we're playing a 2v2. It's battle zones, typical capture these points, and as you capture the points, your points tick up, and you want to have more points by the time the timer runs out, or you want to reach 1,000 points is what this game is set to. This game is set to 20 minutes or 1,000 points, whoever makes it there first, and I like that because a lot of games you see, they're like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1,200, 1,400, 2,000 points. It's not that I don't like long games, but I find shorter games concentrate the action more. People get more frantic. You have to make bolder moves and try and secure victory right off the bat. You can't just like sit back and be like, can I do this? Can I do that? Am I going to go here? Am I going to go there? You can't really choose what you're going to do leisurely. You got to just be bold and get out there. My ally is certainly doing that. He sent an armored car over to the opponent's far left point. That's the one closest to their base. Hopefully looking to catch some infantry there, probably. Nobody's there. If you were watching the minimap, you saw a little a red arrow pop up for a second. That means the opponent bought a vehicle. You can see opponents buying vehicles on the minimap. I don't know, maybe I think it's a bug. Yeah, it's basically definitely a bug. Like the vehicle spawns and then an instant later it goes off out of the fog of war, but you can see it for a moment, so that tells you they bought a vehicle, and so you know that you won't see infantry, you'll see a vehicle right off the bat. So that means my ally should have been being very careful with his vehicle, because typically almost any vehicle you buy in the beginning will be able to take out a very light armored car like that BA-11. And so, of course, they ended up buying a Panzer III, which is more than a match for an armored car. It'll blow the crap out of anything, so my ally got owned, although not before he dismounted and took that point. Most tank crew cannot capture victory locations, battle flags, whatever they're called, but battle zones, that's what they're called, battle zones, but the ones in the armored car usually can, because the armored car isn't crewed by tank crewmen, it's crewed by soldiers. They often carry submachine guns. This is especially helpful for the Japanese. They have a Type 99 or Type 92 armored car. Comes with 5 guys inside, and all of them are able fighters, so you can drive that up to things and take things. So I managed to secure the right. I've got some people in the middle, but I haven't moved them in until my T-26 was able to clear out some of the enemy infantry. Clearly didn't clear out enough enemy infantry because my guys got shredded. Just one guy left, and I pull him back because I need someone alive to take the point. I want to let my tank do the fighting. And you just saw some sort of gun like fly up in the air if you were watching. But yeah, you gotta have people around to take the point once the fighting's done, so I retreat my infantry dude to be safe. But yeah, my ally, after very briefly getting the left, got it taken. I tell my T-26 to shoot the Panzer III, hoping for a lucky hit. It doesn't happen. I get blown up. I probably couldn't have gotten out of there anyway, so I really just wanted an accurate shot, and I was screwed there. I figured the Panzer III would come up and wreck my day one of these days, but I wanted to try and see if I could take the middle point before that happened. It didn't work as a calculated gamble. But in any case, I'm not too worried about the Panzer III. I was thinking of buying some sort of anti-tank, but instead I buy a submachine gun squad because my ally bought a giant KV-85 tank, so he'll be able to take on the Panzer for me, and so I just buy an AT gun to hold off any attacking vehicles. I don't intend to use that AT gun to take on the Panzer III, and it turns out there's 2 Panzer IIIs, it looks like, so I'm going to take my AT gun to the left and take out that Panzer III, because I figure my ally's going to the middle. I don't know, I can just read his mind, is perhaps how it works. And he's also bought a submachine gun infantry squad, so that's nice. He's supporting himself, not leaving me to do all the work with all the infantry. I'd like to see my ally take the initiative like that. And yeah, so now it's just a matter of finding that Panzer III and killing it with my AT gun, and also moving in on the middle and perhaps on the left with my submachine gun infantry dudes. And I was supposed to mention this at the beginning, but I'll mention it now. I think this is going to be a good game. I don't think this is going to be a good game. I think this was a good game, I believe. And that guy just gets completely overkill. An entire squad of submachine gunners just unload like half a clip into him. It's just blood everywhere. So that Panzer III is going to be screwed. The other Panzer III probably also screwed because it's moving up on my ally's tank. They do take out my ally's tank track, but I knock out that track. KV-85 knocks out the Panzer III. KV-85 is probably going to knock out the other Panzer III. All 3 of those tanks immobilized. Of course, one of them's dead, so then it's really immobilized. But boom, turret destroyed. Of course, that doesn't matter too much, even though it's immobilized, because it is still aiming at the KV-85. But yeah, boom, Panzer III destroyed. Panzer III really doesn't have the chops to take on the heavy Soviet tanks, and in fact, Panzer IV It does have a fair amount of trouble taking on the T-34s if it's hitting the slope part of their armor, and in fact this is what made the Germans crap their pants after they first started engaging the Soviets and made them redesign all their tanks, started popping out Panthers and Tigers and stuff, because they realized the Soviets really had it together with their tanks. They were not expecting the sort of T-34, KV-85, KV-1, heavy armored, heavy gunned Soviet tanks, and surprise, surprise, the Germans weren't the number one in everything. Certainly surprised them. They were like, whoa. But yeah, with the support of my allies' tank, I am again moving in on the middle, and it looks like things are going pretty well. It's always nice to have a tank watching over you. Stuff just explodes and stuff gets shot at whenever you're able to see it. And that's a good tip. You should always scout for a tank, whether it's your tank or your allies' tank. If you can identify the location of enemy infantry, the tank will be able to bring to bear some really heavy fire on them and take them out when your infantry themselves aren't able to do it, or when you would rather have your infantry doing other stuff, like here where I would rather have them taking the point than fighting, which is why they're just sort of prone in the middle of the street. I'm sort of telling them to attack those guys, but they can't, so I'm not really sweating it. I'm just letting the KV-85 come up and do its thing when it needs to do its thing. And you notice I haven't been probing on the left very much. That's because the left is kind of far away, and so first I want to get the middle. But now I am contemplating the left, so looking over there, what's it going to be like? Yep, submachine gun infantry. They're pretty much my go-to for everything. They can do anything, and it turns out my AT gun got bogged down at one point. The pathfinding kind of weird. Trying to get through those destroyed buildings is sometimes a little nuts. And so here's one of the things I like about this game. Our opponents are very aggressive. They send this submachine gun infantry over to the right to try and take my point. Luckily I did have some people there, a couple of guys in bushes, and all it took was a couple of guys in bushes to get the drop on those guys. I killed most of them, and oh, he's coming up to attack my AT gun, you see. So I get out of the AT gun, tell the crew to fight back. They're getting owned, but luckily these submachine gunners I was sending to the left, I can retask them. And you see here the power of the Soviet submachine gun. I fire off a bunch of rounds, hit them from long range to only finally kill a guy, but I don't have to reload. It took quite a while. This game keeps lagging all the time. I guess the host wasn't very good, but I lose my AT gun, but I do kill those two guys. So actually, he came out ahead on that one. But if I was any other submachine gun squad, I probably would have had to reload after that first volley, and things wouldn't have gone too well. So I'm buying a sniper. I know my opponent has a squad of, let's say, 4 men over on the right. I killed 2 of them with that ambush from the bush with 2 of my own men, but then he did take the point. So instead of walking into that point blindly, because I know there's people there, I'm buying a sniper, and I'm just going to scout with the sniper, and once my sniper sees everybody, he can either shoot them or my submachine gunners can shoot them, because they won't have to go in blind, and you never want to go in blind. Speaking of going in blind, I see my ally's tank just driving over there. In my brain, I'm picturing my ally, oh, they took the point, I go drive my tank over, I find out what's wrong. And I'm just like, no man, no, you're gonna get killed, there's gonna be people in the bushes, they're gonna kill you,